Hi, I'm Marty Duda. Welcome to the 13th floor. And today we have the Means up at the 13th floor playing a few songs for us. And there are 4 members of the Means. We have 2 of them sitting in front of me now. This is Esther and Abraham. And the other 2 members are Tom and Marika, right? We've got everything right so far. So the type of music that you play is kind of a unique blend of different styles as far as I can tell. But how do you describe what you do?
Well, we have an interesting relationship with myself as a vocalist and the Means as a 3-piece. These guys have a certain list of influences, and then I have a certain list, and then we have some common ground as well. So why don't you talk a little bit about some of the, in terms of the instrumentation, some of the influences?
Well, I guess there's some pretty obvious reference points, which kind of start with producers, predominantly like in hip-hop and associated genres, but I think the most succinct way I've come up with being able to describe what we do is like a marriage of beat making and songwriting, and I think that's about it.
All righty. And from your point of view?
Yeah, again, pulling from a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of soul artists. I was a big fan of Lauryn Hill growing up, and I also came up singing in church, so I guess gospel music is kind of a little bit of a thing in there as well. But yeah,
These days, there's a lot of labels like out of LA and also in the UK doing some really phenomenal things. So if you were going to, like for points of reference, things like the Brain Feeder label based out of LA and the artists on there, or like the Young Turks label in the UK, it's like it's a ballpark that it's kind of a difficult sound to pin a genre label on, but people know it when they hear it.
Yeah, it's like alt pop. Right. For lack of a better word. Yeah. Little Dragon is Young Turks, eh?
No, they're from
Sweden?
Sweden,
That would be another influence though.
Okay. So you've got an EP out called The Ends, which came out at the end of last year, somewhat, right? And the first song that you're going to perform for us is with the last tune on the album?
Yeah.
On the EP, Say the Same. So maybe you can give us a little background on where that song came from.
Well, from a musical perspective, I guess really like the idea, back to that beat making thing of trying to create a whole song out of what's essentially like a couple bar long loop, and forming a thing around that. It was a really interesting process. Thematically, just from some regrettable life or questionable life decisions and having to deal with that.
Okay.
But then I guess the main thing is that it features a friend of all of ours, actually, Courtney Meredith, who's a beautiful poet, spoken word artist, and it was really great to be able to collaborate on that kind of cross-medium thing.
Right, and so you get to sing it today.
I do. I get to contribute some backing vocals to Abe's song.
Duo vocal.
Yeah, duo vocals.
All right, so let's give a listen to Say the Same.
Let's not
Okay, we're back with the Means, and the next tune that you're going to perform for us is a thing called Love Me Not, which is also on the EP. So who wants to tell me about that one?
Love Me Not is actually a very old song. Abe and I wrote that song several years ago, so it's lovely to finally have it recorded. And it reflects on themes of a love gone wrong, of what could have been, but what is. And yeah, it's a little bit of a sad sort of ballady tune. But yeah, a pretty song nonetheless.
And so I assume that you had more to do with the music than the lyric. So do you have to kind of get in touch with the lyric in order to come up with the music? Is there much collaboration between the two of you, or is it something that you had maybe going on somewhere else and you bring it together?
I guess the creative process for this EP has been kind of different depending on which artist we work with, but like there's been a synergy with Esther like from the get-go, so it's a lot more of a thing that happens quite intrinsically and naturally.
It seems the way that we work is that Abe or the band will present a track or a seed of an idea, and then I'll take that away and I'll put down some lyrical ideas, send it back to them, then they'll give me some feedback, maybe cut this, move this, and then we'll develop a song together from there. But so far it generally starts with the instrumentation, and then I'll kind of bring the melody and lyrics.
Cool, alrighty, let's give it a listen. This is Love Me Not next.
Coming round again, wake up inside.
Okay, back with the Means. We've got one more song, and before we get to the music, folks may recognize you from television appearances that you did. You were in the Go Girls, is that right?
Right. I was in a show called Go Girls, and I also had a little stint on the New Zealand Underbelly series, which was fun. So acting is my other thing.
And you're recording a new series.
I am, but I'm actually not allowed to talk about that.
Okay, well, we'll
yet.
keep that under wraps.
But you can talk about recording your EP.
I can talk about recording my EP, though.
Oh, well, let's hear about it.
Well, the plan is to continue along the same creative lines that we have been, and produce an EP of new material, of which this next track hopefully will be a part.
Yes, this is an unrecorded track at this point, so we're very excited about that. It's called Heartbeat.
It is called Heartbeat.
And so where did this song come from?
So again, as I was mentioning before, this was a track that Abe had put together and had sent to me via email, and I started throwing down some ideas, and this is very new, only days old in fact. We went away to the Coromandel to do some writing, the four of us, to a little house that my family own. And as I was driving down to the Coromandel, I was thinking about, because I live in Melbourne, about coming home and about how deeply connected I feel to the natural landscape in New Zealand. And it kind of was birthed out of that, about that somewhat inexplicable connection that you have to a certain place, or you know, just getting away from the city and the to-do list.
It seems like location has a lot to do with music, and it just kind of seeps in. You can always kind of tell where something came from. It's kind of a weird thing. Alrighty, well, let's give this one a listen. No one else has heard this, right? So
no,
this is an exclusive on the 13th floor. And do you have any live dates coming up, or?
We do.
Okay, so
we're heading out on tour supporting Coach.
Right.
For their
they have an EP
Songs
coming
for
out.
Michelle EP release tour, and we will be in Wellington on my birthday on the 30th of January. Come and see me and wish me happy birthday. We will be in Tauranga and Mount Maunganui at Major Tom's on the 31st, and then we'll be at the Wine Cellar in Auckland on the 2nd of February.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, let's go out with Heartbeat. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much for having us.
I'm sick of the city. I want to get away. I know it's coming. Over the hill. I feel it running.